Ladies and gentlemen, this is your AEW. Ladies and gentlemen, AEW Revolution. This week's AEW Revolution was a great show. We got Thunder Rosa losing again. And we got Shida retaining her AEW Women's Championship. We got the Young Bucks retaining their AEW Tag Team Champions. And we got Death Triangle winning the whole entire Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. Or should I say Tag Team Battle Royal match. And we got Myro and Kip Sabian winning their match over Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. We're going to go over it all, folks. We're going to break it down. You know how we do it here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. We're going to go over everything that went down on the AEW Revolution right here on my Ingram Wrestling News YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Brendan Ingram here live with your AEW Revolution 2021 results and review. I hope everybody's having a good Monday morning. I know it's early for you all, but I just want to get this out the way. A lot of people, I tweeted out a poll yesterday asking, should I go live my AEW Revolution review? Or should I do an AEW Revolution review? 5 people voted yes. And look, here I am. Now, I hope everybody can see me now. I hope everybody can see me. I hope everybody is doing all right. If you're new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, of course, so you won't miss my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and SmackDown reviews that go live each and every week on WWE 2K20 specifically. And so you won't miss my NXT UK reviews as well. Also, follow me on Twitter at Ingram Wrestling for the latest WWE and AEW news. If you missed my 2 Ingram Wrestling News videos that I dropped last week, be sure you go check those out. One of my 2 Ingram Wrestling News videos is on the news on a brand new AEW signing. It was Sean Dean. Captain Sean Dean got signed to AEW. So be sure you go check that video out. And also check out the video on the news on NXT reportedly introducing NXT tag team titles. If you missed that video, go check that out too. Also, if you missed my NXT UK review, go check that out. I think I had one of my best NXT UK reviews yet. Just wait till this Thursday. It's going to get even more better. And I promise you it is. I don't lie. I encourage you to go check out my NXT UK review out, though. Seriously, it was a really good review. I really deserve likes on it. I really deserve a whole lot of likes on that review because I feel like I did my greatest on that review. If you missed my Monday Night Raw review, go check that out as well. And my SmackDown review from last Friday. Check that out. That's on my channel still as well. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I know you all are waiting on me to get to the main event. Trust me, I already know. I saw the tweets on how terrible that Death Bar Wire match was. Oh my goodness. That was embarrassing at its finest. I'm telling you. That was the most embarrassing ending to AEW Revolution. We're going to get to that at the end of this. We still got a long way to go. So we're going to go ahead and get started here with the review. Be sure you invite your friends to join the chat, man. This is specifically for those of you who did not get to watch AEW Revolution last night. That's what this review is specifically for people who didn't get to watch AEW Revolution. Now, shall we begin the review? You all that's watching the chat. All right, we're going to go ahead and get to it, man. So, the buy-in. The buy-in starts with a video package focusing on Sting's return, and the street fight match with Team Taz. Up next was a video package of Riho, Mizunami, and the Women's Eliminator Tournament. The next video package looks at the AEW Tag Team Champions match between the Young Bucks, MJF, and Chris Jericho. Hangman Page and Matt Hardy feud is the next to get focused. The face of the Revolution ladder match video package follows. The next video package focuses on the main event, the exploding barbed wire death match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega for AEW World Championship, which had one of the worst freaking endings to the show that I've never thought I'd never see. Until I saw the tweets on Twitter, of course, about how terrible it was. So it says here that it's Sunday. You know what that means. Excalibur welcomes us to the show as they run down tonight's card. Another video package, Blassie, focusing on the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and MJF. Dr. Britt Baker makes her entrance with a microphone. Britt says Reba is injured and cannot compete. Reba comes out on crutches, and Britt says she has found the perfect replacement. Mikey Idaho comes out as Reba's replacement. Idaho sings her theme song on the way to the ring. Thunder Rosa comes out next, followed by Riho. So we got Riho and Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker and Mikey Idaho. So Riho and Baker start the match with a lockup. Britt gets the snapmare and headlock. Riho counters with a wrist lock. Baker gets to the ropes to break the submission. Baker with a kick to the gut and strikes to the face. Riho cartwheels through into a number of drop kicks and a hurricanrana. Rosa and Ito tags in. Ito with a headlock. Rosa counters to an armbar. Ito with a shoulder block to no effect. Strikes back and forth. Ito asks for more. Rosa brings her to her knees with strikes. Ito starts crying and stomps the foot. He stomps the foot. Rosa with a shoulder block. Ito with an elbow and Bulldog in the corner. 10 strikes in the corner. Rosa countersing into an electric drop in the corner. Tags to Riho. Riho with an assisted Spanish splash for a 2 count. So she had a splash for a 2 count. Then Riho with a 619 for the 2 count. Homage to Rey Mysterio with that one. I already saw that coming. Rosa tags in. Riho knocks Baker off the apron and drop kicks Idaho. Quick tags back to Riho. Elbow strikes back and forth. Riho with a kick to the gut. Baker sweeps the foot and throws Riho into the barricade with the help of Rebuild. Now we thought Rebuild was going to be wrestling last night. Come to find out, Rebuild isn't injured. So Ido goes for a diving headbutt and misses. So apparently Rebuild faked her injury. That's what it looks like. Now, Baker tags in with a Craven and knees to Riho. Baker with a butterfly suplex for a 2 count. Idaho tags in, locks in a headlock. Riho gets to the ropes, stomps from Idaho. Riho with a neck breaker. on the ropes in a diving crossbody for a 2 count. Rosa and Baker tag in and strikes back and forth. Rosa with a big clothesline. Rosa, Thunder Rosa with a knees in the corner. Drop kick in the corner. Butterfly suplex from Rosa. Rosa with a senton for the 2 count. And then Idaho tags in. Back elbow in the corner. Baker with a sling blade. Sort of like Finn Balor's sling blade. Idaho hits a diving headbutt for a 2 count. Rosa with a stunner. You know, that stunner must be an homage to Stone Cold Steve Austin right there with that one. Tags in Riho. Riho goes after, or Riho goes after Baker. Baker with a super kick. Idaho with a swinging DDT. Rosa rolls out of the ring. Idaho drags her back to the middle. Idaho misses a diving headbutt from the top. Idaho reverses a Meteora into a single leg crab. Riho gets to the ropes, strikes back and forth. Idaho blocks a strike with her hit. Baker tags in, hits an air raid crash for a 2 count. Rosa tags in and gets a roll up on Baker for a near fall. Baker gets a backslide for a 2. DDT from Baker at 2 count. Rosa gets a crucifix for 2. Rebuild distracts Rosa. Rosa dodges out the way, and Baker hits Rebuild. Rosa hits a Death Valley driver for 2. Riho dives on Idaho. Baker with a super kick. Rebuild hits Rosa with the crutch. Baker steals the victory. Great match. I will say this. Great match. There was a lot to like about this one, including Idol's opportunity to star in the States. But the argument can be also made this went entirely too long. Now, I'm trying to think. It lost some of its substance the longer it went before the finish gave Baker a much needed victory. Now, Rebuild timed the crutch short, or timed the crutch shot perfectly. Rosa sold it well. She did sold it well, and the heels earned a big win. Now, as fun as it was to see Ido in this spot, it was interesting to see Jade Cargill watching from ringside just days after she was one of the most buzzed about performers in the industry. Would she not have been a better option to fill in as Baker's partner and be highlighted here, following up her blockbuster victory Wednesday night? Either way, it is an energetic match that stretched just a bit too long to retain its build. This was a great teaser for the rest of the show. Now, we got a video package from Kenny Omega versus John Moxley in the exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. JR makes his entrance to start Revolution. Show opens with a tribute to Jim Crooked, and JR welcomes us to AEW Revolution. Thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family. MJF and Chris Jericho make their entrance. Crowd sings along to Julius. The Young Bucks make their entrance next. Justin Roberts goes through the official ring introductions. The Young Bucks get right in his face they get in the faces of Jericho and MJF. Jericho steals one of the titles and raises it over his head. So we got the AEW Tag Team Championship. We got the Young Bucks versus MJF and Chris Jericho. Always Talk Wrestling. Welcome to the chat, man. Welcome to the review. Feel free to enjoy your stay. Feel free to be here anytime. I'm just now getting started, so welcome. Nick and Matt with double legs on MJF and Jericho and get the advantage early. MJF and Jericho try to escape from the outside, but the Bucks drag them in. MJF and Jericho turn the tables on the Bucks and throw them into the barricade, and then back in the ring, the Bucks take advantage with a double suicide dive. The Bucks with stereo sharpshooters on MJF and Chris Jericho. Matt with a spear to Jericho. Nick with a dropkick to MJF. Nick with a senton to Jericho. MJF breaks up the count. MJF thrown to the outside. Jericho with a springboard dropkick. Wardlow and MJF beat up Nick on the outside. Thrown back in the ring. Jericho hits a back body drop. So then MJF tags in and hits a double flapjack with Jericho. They do the Young Bucks pose and step over Nick. Nick gets the tag to Matt. Matt runs wild on both men with kicks and chops. The big DDT on MJF. Warlord brings Matt to the outside, and Jericho hits a suplex on the outside. Back in the ring, MJF stomps on the arm. MJF rakes the back and tags in Jericho. Jericho with chops in a suplex. MJF tags in. Double delayed vertical suplex, 2 count. MJF with a headlock. Matt tries to get out, but MJF pulls the hair. Now, Matt hits an elbow to Jericho, but MJF gets a drop toe hold and a headlock on Matt. Now, quick tags from MJF and Jericho. Double DDT. Matt plants both men. Nick gets the hot tag, and runs wild on both men. Super kicks on both men. Rising knee strike. Nick with a X Factor on MJF and a Cannon Destroyer for a 2 count. MJF tries to fight out of the corner, but Nick gets a super kick. The Bucks hit a sliced bread for a 2 count. That was a great sliced bread move. That was a great move by the Young Bucks. Jericho tags in, but Matt gets the advantage with punches to the face. Jericho sweeps the legs and goes for the walls. Matt rolls him up for a 2 count. Jericho goes of a Judas effect. He goes for the Judas effect, but Matt gets out. Nick mistimes a dive, and Jericho gets the walls. Now, Nick gets the tag, but while in the walls, Matt goes for a super kick. But Jericho counters into another walls fights. And into another walls, Matt fights out. That's what I'm trying to say. Matt fights out and drives Jericho into his corner. Now, MJF tags in and goes for a backslide for a 2 count. MJF with a sit-out powerbomb for another 2 count. MJF jaw jacks with the crowd. I almost had it wrong. And does the suck it to Matt. Young Bucks go for the Melzer driver, and Jericho counters into a code breaker for a 2 count. I almost thought it was referring to Dave Melzer when it said Melzer driver. Jericho tags in and gets hit with a boot from Nick. Nick from the top hits, and he hits a diving crossbody for the 2 count. And Matt with a crossbody to the outside on MJF. Jericho misses a Judas effect on Nick and hits Wardlow. Jericho goes for a lion salt and gets hit with a double super kick. Bucks hit the BTE trigger. MJF breaks up the count. Super kicks on MJF from the Bucks. Double super kick on Jericho. Bucks hit the Melzer driver for the victory. And that was it. So Jericho and MJF threw everything they had at the Bucks. Now, including a baseball bat and repeated interference from Wardlow. But the champions' thirst for vengeance proved too much for the challengers. Y'all get what I'm saying? So this was a action-packed match with solid storytelling throughout and a picture-perfect finish. The Bucks just obliterating MJF with super kicks until he had slobber pouring from his mouth was a great spot, and the springboard spike tombstone power driver that put away Jericho was appropriately vicious. Now the right team went over as the Bucks came move onto the winner of the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal, while Jericho and MJF had the potential nuisance named Sammy Guevara to deal with yet. Now, there have been many other matches that would have been better suited for the opening spot, but this was a perfect example of the energetic, fast-pacing action you can expect from the show. Fast-pacing as it gets, folks. Definitely was. Commentary runs down the card. Justin Roberts runs down the rules for the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. The Natural Nightmares, QT Marshall, and Dusty Rhodes are the first team out. Dark Orders numbers 5 and 10 are team number 2. So we got the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. 90 seconds countdown on the Tron. Dusty Rhodes with chops in the corner on 10. 5 with kicks to QT. Power slam from Dustin. 5 strikes in the corner from 5.5 with a long blower on QT. Dark Order celebrate, but Dustin hits a double bulldog. Santana, and Ortiz enter next. They run wild on both teams. 5 hits, some super kicks on both of them, and 10 with a high boot. Now QT with a diamond cutter, and Allin Angels is eliminated. 10 tries to eliminate QT, but he hangs on. Next entrant is Matt and Mike Sydal, the Sydal brothers. Matt hits the Meteora on Ortiz. The Sydals chop down 10. Combination lightning spiral on 10 from the Sydals. Dustin tries to eliminate 10. Next in is Dark Order's Grayson and Uno. They attack Dustin in the corner. Double team moves on the Sydals. Mike Sydal eliminated by Santana and Ortiz. Evil Uno with a sit-out powerbomb on Santana. Dark Order celebrate, but Ortiz with a huge super kick. Next out is the Gunn Club. Gunn Club run wild with clotheslines. The clothesline splash in the corner from Colton Gunn. Spear from 10. Matt Sydal with a spinning heel kick, but gets eliminated by Ortiz. Next out is Peter Allin and Cesaro Bonani. You know Cesaro Bonani from NXT, Brazilian professional wrestling. The same country, the same country where Tenora Conti stays. I'm pretty sure you know Arthur Reyes from NXT. I'm sure you know that. Sure you know. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that name. He's from Brazilian too. They're all Brazilians. Tenor Conti is one of the greatest Brazilian professional wrestlers, female professional wrestlers of all time, in my opinion. I mean, fuck what everybody else thinks of her. I think she's I think she's one of the best Brazilian female professional wrestlers of all time in Brazil, in the U.S. too. But anyways, Cesaro, Benani, Alvin, Alvin celebrate with Benani dominates. So big power slam from Benani. Ortiz and Dark Order tried to eliminate Dustin. Next entrant is the Varsity Blondes. Pillman wastes no time with a splash on Benani. Famiser from Gunn and Allin eliminated. Gunn and Allin eliminated. Gun Club double team. Benani. QT eliminate both members of Gun Club. Dustin scolds him. QT eliminates himself. It spits on Dustin. I wonder why. Bear Country was out next. I've seen what they can do. I watched them on Dark Order last week. Big power slams from Bear Country. Grayson gets Boulder up on his shoulders, but Bear Country, about got it wrong. Bear Country eliminates him. Dustin with stomps in the corner. Next out is Jurassic Express. Now I know that one very well because I've seen Jurassic Express in their feud with the FTR. I wonder if FTR and Jurassic Express are continuing their feud or not. I wonder. This could have been the time for FTR to come out in this casino battle royal. So the crowd sing Jungle Boy's theme. They sing Jungle Boy's theme. Luchasaurus runs wild until Uno and 10 bull rush him. Jungle Boy with a Hurricane. Jungle Boy eliminates Ortiz. Luchasaurus with a tail whip on Banani and eliminates him. And Pillman, Jungle Boy, eliminates Santana. Stunt eliminates Uno. Butcher and Blade enter next. Butcher eliminates Pillman. Jack Evans pulls 10 off the apron, eliminating him. Dustin and Boulder fight. Boulder almost eliminates him. Butcher and Blade and Bunny eliminate Dustin. Next out is Private Party. They take their time getting to the ring. They go after the Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy gets the upper hand momentarily. Butcher and the Blade attack Boulder in the corner. Private Party try to eliminate Jungle Boy. Next out is SCU. They go after Private Party. Double team slam on Cassidy. Chops to Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus dominates, but gets eliminated by Bear Country. Butcher eliminates Bear Country. Bear Country attacks Butcher. And then out next is Fenix and Pac. They eliminate Blade. Fenix and Daniel strikes in the middle of the ring. Fenix avoids elimination. Next entrant is Silver and Ronald. Silver with a boot to the back of the head. Ronald's with a Pele driver onto Daniels. Knee lift from Silver. Dark Destroyer on Cassidy. And Dark Order eliminate Private Party. SCU eliminate Butcher. Fenix with strikes in the corner on Daniels. Fenix eliminates Daniels. Jungle Boy eliminates Ronalds by throwing him over the corner post. So once he gets thrown in the corner post, Pac eliminates Case. Case hits hard on the outside. Final four are Silver, Jungle Boy, Fenix, and Pac. Silver with a kick on the apron. Fenix with a dive, but Silver hangs on with one Hang Jungle Boy almost eliminates Fenix. Now, Silver and Pac go head to head, back 4 strikes. Big kicks from Silver, but Pac hits him with a German suplex. Silver hang on from elimination. So once he hangs on from elimination, Fenix walks the tight ropes with a kick to Silver, eliminate Dark Order. So once they got the kicks to Silver to eliminate Dark Order, Death Triangle double team Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy outspeeds Pac and eliminates him. Back and forth chops, arm drags, Jungle Boy slides to the outside, and Fenix hits a suicide dive, Jungle Boy with a super kick, and a clothesline, Jungle Boy with a poison aura. Fenix with a super kick and elimination, and Death Triangle wins. Now, there was some great action and solid storytelling to be had throughout this match. But the battle royals are already convoluted and messy enough without adding more rules and bodies to the mix. You know what I'm saying? So there were rapid fire eliminations to clear out room, of course, featuring teams that never really had a shot at winning. So why were they involved? Well, here's your answer, folks. Among the biggest takeaways was the split of the Natural Nightmares, which will likely see Marshall turn heel and feud with Dusty Rhodes. Jungle Boy turned in another star-making performance late. Fenix wooed and John Silver and Alex Runs again showed why they should be a top-tier team in the AEW Tag Team division. With all of that being said, this is a match that should probably be put back in mouthballs or at least reconfigured to make things less messy. If you all know what I mean, less messy. For starters, one teammate's elimination should lead to the departure of this unit. Since the idea of tag team wrestling is working as one of the unified goals. Now, we got the AEW Women's Championship match, Shida versus Riho. Before that, Dasha is backstage with Paul Wright. Wright says he and Tony Khan know who the signing is. White says he's one with the scoops, hints that nobody can outwork the new signing. So next was the Women's Championship match. Riho, Mizunami making her entrance. Shida enters next. So to stare down to start, Shida offers the handshake, and Riho goes for a strike, but Shida ducks under. Shida with a headlock, Riho with a shoulder block, another shoulder block, elbow in the corner. Chops Shida with the elbows in return. Riho with more chops. Riho dances and Shida hits a Hurricane Rock. Running knee in the corner. Shida with a drive-by kick. So Shida with a drive-by knee. Shida goes under the ring and grabs a chair. Uses the chair for a jump, but Riho catches her and throws her into the crowd. Back in the ring, Riho hits a flurry of leg drops. Riho locks in a clutch and stomps on the back. Shida with strikes to the chest. Riho driven it into the corner. Shida with a missile drop kick for a 2 count. Riho with a clothesline to the outside, but Shida lands on her feet. Riho goes for a superplex, but Shida counters and hits a backwards power driver on the ramp. Shida with a superplex for a 2 count. Riho with strikes to no effect. Shida with a big strikes, knocking Riho down. Riho with headbutts and a huge clothesline and another clothesline. Riho spikes Shida for a 2 count. Shida with a roll up and a strike, then a running knee. Riho fires back with an elbow. Shida with a running knee. Double down. Riho grabs Shida's hand and they strike back and forth. Riho asks for more, and Riho grabs Shida's hand and they strike back and forth. Riho asks for more and hits more elbow strikes. Uranagi from Riho, spear from Riho. Riho with a diving leg drop for a 2 count. Shida rolls through a inside hook. Shida with an enziguri. Shida with a straight jacket, German suplex, and a clubbing blow to the back of the head. Shida with a Falcon Arrow, knees and elbows to Riho. Falcon Arrow from Shida for a 2 count. Shida with a running knee. Shida with a poke to the eye and an inside cradle. Riho rolls through and gets a 2 count. Shida with an enziguri for a 2 count. Shida flattens Riho and gets the running knee for the 2 count. Shida with a corkscrew knee strike for the victory. And that was it. So first things first. This match does not work as well as it did without Excalibur. So it didn't work without Excalibur calling the hell out of it. He laid out the backstory and added layers to it. And in the end, helped elevate it even beyond what the women accomplished in the ring. Now, which was said to say intense. Now, Shida and Mizunami beat the hell out of each other. Yeah, no doubt about that. They did beat the hell out of each other in an incredible physical match. The strikes were wicked. The factuality behind each undeniable. It was stiff, intense, surprisingly dramatic. It felt very much like two women battling for both the top prizes in the sports and personal bragging rights. The post-match antics suggest more of the same involving Britt Baker, Rosa, Thunder Rosa to be expected. Whether any of those three will eventually dethrone Shida remains to be seen, but for now, the champion's historic reign continues. Now, I don't understand why Thunder Rosa has been losing for 2 weeks. This is the second week in a row that Thunder Rosa has been losing. What is going on? It feels more like the third, fourth week. What is AEW doing with Thunder Rosa? You know, Thunder Rosa is one of the three of my favorite AEW female talents. What's going on? Please tell me they are not doing Thunder Rosa like how WWE did her. Jesus Christ. Please tell me they know what they're doing with Thunder Rosa. Because I'm starting to think they don't know what they're doing with her. I really am. I'm really starting to think that AEW doesn't know a damn thing they're doing with Thunder Rosa. Really. Anyways, Nia Rose attacks both women after the match. Shida saves Riho, but Britt Baker and Riho attack Shida and Riho. Baker and Rose go face to face. Thunder Rosa runs out to make the save, and everybody clears out. Marvis is backstage with Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. But Myru, Rusev known as Myru, attacks both men before they can speak. Chuck gets thrown into a glass door. Myru shouts play his music, and he drags Chuck Taylor. onto the stage. Taylor is busted open and thrown into the ring, which is not surprising. Miedo gets a mic and asks how many chances he gave him. Says the word, he says the word, and he'll make the pain stop. Chuck says, the bell. Chuck says, ring the bell. That's what he says. So we got Miedo and Kip Sabian versus Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. Match was pretty good as well. Wasn't too bad. Miedo stomps on Chuck in the corner, kick to the gut, strikes to the bloody face of Chuck. Sabian tags in and hits a shotgun dropkick, stomps in the corner from Sabian. Miedo tags in and shouts in Chuck's face. Quick tag back to Sabian with a running dropkick. Taylor with a big boot and a rising knee strike. Now, Taylor is going it alone. Orange finally makes his way to the ring, but he is badly beat up. Orange punch to Miedo. Orange punch to Miedo. Taylor plants Sabian and tags in Orange. Sabian avoids the punch in Orange. It's a suicide dive. Orange without a diving DDT for a 2 count. So once Orange hits a diving DDT for 2 count, Orange goes for the break. But his back gives out. So Sabian with a gut buster. Sabian with a sit out slam for a 2 count. Keep goes for the deathly hollows, but Orange reverses, spiking Sabian, right break stomp combination on Keep. Taylor with the power driver. Miedo breaks the count. So then Orange hits his low effect knees. He hits his low effect kicks and goes for Orange punch and hits a stun dog millionaire and hits the Orange punch again. Miedo pushes Orange into forward flying into the barricade. So then Miedo hits a roundhouse kick and a backbreaker. Taylor with a high boot. Miedo throws in Keep, and Taylor gets inside Cradle for a 2 count. Miedo hits a high thrust kick, and the game over. Taylor taps out. And that was it. Now, I feel like this was a good win for Miedo. I think it was. Miedo and Sabian's partnership is not long for AEW if the booking of this one is any indication. Now, the best man used forward to his advantage. She was a pawn to be taken out, a distraction he could capitalize on. That will not sit well with Sabian, who opted to check on his bride rather than concern himself with Miedo in the match at hand. Not that it mattered. Miedo dominated, withstanding the best a battered Taylor and Cassidy had to offer en route to a win that should help him build momentum moving forward. Sabian is a talented competitor, and his on-screen pairing with real-life wife Ford is an act AEW should continue to focus on. Now, to build that partnership feels beneath Maru at this point as the Bulgarian seeks the bigger, better things that include him elsewhere. Now, Marvis with MJF and Chris Jericho asks what's next for the Inner Circle. Jericho says they should be the tag champs. Says they are an army and they need to change their battle plan. On Dynamite, they will have a war council and they will have a war concealed and things will change. MJF says a change can make the Inner Circle a whole lot better. Matt Hardy makes his entrance. Adam Page follows. So we got Matt Hardy versus Adam Page. The winner receives the loser's first quarter 2021 earnings. This was also a great match. This also stole the show. This really stole the pay-per-view. Lock up to start. Crowd chants Big Money Matt. Page with chops in the corner. Stomps to Matt. Back body drop from Page. Hardy with strikes. Page with a fallaway slam. Now, Page goes for the back shot early, but Matt slides outside. Matt thrown over the barricade. Page climbs the guardrail and hits a diving sledge. Hardy sent back into the ring, but he goes right back outside. Page hits the corner post. And Matt goes after the injured hand. Matt bites Page's hand and slams it on the steps. Hardy stomps Page's hand between the stairs and the ramp. Matt Hardy continues to go after the hand, grabs a chunk knuckle lock. I was about to say chunk. Funny. I know it's kind of hilarious because I was literally about to say that. But he grabs a knuckle lock, wrenching the fingers. Page with a headbutt to the ribs. Hardy with strikes in the corner. Page whipped hard into the corner. Page with elbows and a right hand, but hurts the injured hand. Hardy goes for a side effect, but Page hits a Death Valley driver for a 2 count. Page with a boot on the apron. Hardy throws to the outside. And Page with a springboard strike. Hardy goes for the twist of fate on the outside. Hardy goes for a countout victory. Page gets back in at 9. Hardy hits elbows to the back of the head. And then Page with a big boot. Hardy with a German suplex from the second rope. 2 count. Double clotheslining. Evenly matches Page with a discus strike. Page with a clothesline spilling to the outside. Page hits the moonsault to the outside on Matt. Back in the ring, Page hits a diving crossbody for a 2 count. Page with a clothesline in the corner. Sliding lariat. Hardy with an elbow focuses on the neck. He then hits Page with a razor's edge bomb for a 2 count. Hardy hits Page with a twist of fate. Heyman rolls through, hits the dead eye. Private Party distracts the referee. Page hits Matt with strikes. Clotheslines Private Party. Hardy reverses the buckshot into a side effect. 2 count. Dark Order runs out to even the odds. Page hits Hardy with a big boot. Dark Order assists with a buckshot lariat. And Page gets the 3 count. So Dark Order celebrates Page, and Page hugs them all. Page officially joins Dark Order. Now, this was an excellent worked match. Just as I said before I read, this was a good match. This actually stole the pay-per-view. This stole the show. Just as I said. Hardy showed that veteran in-ring intelligence, recognizing his opponent's strength and taking it away to the best of his ability. He spent the entirety of the match targeting the right arm and hand, then had Private Party perfectly positioned for the run-in if necessary. Now, what if Big Money did not account for was the genuine friendship between Page and Dark Order? That friendship not based on money or what one side could do for the other. Now, it proved irreparable and helped Heyman earn the win. It was a great example of storytelling, elevating what was perfectly acceptable pro wrestling. Ladder match video package. Max Caster whips his way to the ring. He makes his way to the ring. Archer is next out. Scorpion Sky is next. And then Pentagon makes his entrance too. Cody Rhodes is next, accompanied by Arm Anderson. Mystery entrant is All Ego Ethan Page. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I freaking knew it was one of the Impact talents. You want to know how? Because there was a tweet I saw. There was a tweet from JD from New York. There was a tweet from JD, and I had replied to it, and I said it's either going to be a former Impact talent, former New Japan Pro Wrestling talent, former NWA talent, or a former WWE talent. And sure enough, it was a former Impact talent. It happened to be All Ego Ethan Page. I'll be damned. Damn. Anyway. Man, this men's division stacked. It's getting stacked real quick. Dynamite's going to be stacked this week. I know that for sure. It probably already is, if anything. Knowing them. Archer attacks Cody and Page goes after Sky. On the outside, Pentagon and Caster brawl. Archer dominates Cody on the ramp and grabs a ladder, throwing it onto Caster and Sky in the ring. I want to call him Casper so bad, but that's not his name. Archer attacks everybody else with the ladder, striking Pentagon and Caster in gut with the ladder. Pentagon with a sling blade on the ladder to Archer. Sky with a German suplex with the ladder on Pentagon. Caster with a dropkick on Sky. Jack Evans comes out with a boombox, but 10 stops him from interfering. Cody Rhodes with a disaster kick. Page climbs the ladder. Cody up the other side. Archer brings them both down. Cody shakes Page's hand, but not Adam Page, All Ego Page. Just in case you all get confused. Page hands, but Page kicks him in the gut. Page hits Cody in the shoulder with the ladder. Caster wipes out Page and Sky with the boombox and hits Cody in the shoulder with the boombox. Pentagon dives over the ladder, crashing into Rose and Page. Archer with a dropkick on Pentagon. Archer kind of reminds me of Braun Strowman a little bit, sort of. But he's a more monster. He's a more of a monster than Braun Strowman. Page with a diving cutter onto the ladder. Page rams the ladder into Archer's back. Sky gets hit with a side slam. Page with a splash mountain onto the ladder with Archer between the ropes. A ladder is set up on the barricade. Page gets another ladder. Page climbs, but Pentagon hits the backstabber. Pentagon climbs the ladder with Cody with a springboard drop kick. Super kick from Pentagon. Pentagon hits the destroyer on Cody on the ladder. Sky with a suplex on the outside. Cody is taken to the back. Caster climbs the ladder. Sky stops it. Caster grabs the brass ring, but Sky slams him down. Cody tries to get back in the ring. He tries to get back in the match, but Jerry, Lynn, and Iron says no. Caster gets a bigger ladder. Sky and Caster fight on the top. Arch gets both. Page also climbs up, all grabbing the ring. Sky slams Archer. Yeah, he did that. Sky slams Archer's face into the ladder. Sky grabs the ring. Caster interrupts Pentagon, stops Sky grabbing the ring. Pentagon with a super kick to Sky. Pentagon climbs. Sky strikes across the spine. Sky bits Pentagon, driving him to the mat. Page climbs the ladder. Caster climbs the other side. Back and forth strikes. Caster rakes the eyes. Caster with a sunset flip powerbomb. Sky climbs the ladder. Caster throw into the ladder. Sky slams Caster into the ladder. Sky with a frog splash from the top rope onto the ladder. Archer catapults Sky into the ladder, but Sky climbs Archer with a high knee, sending Sky through the ladder on the outside. Pentagon hangs Page into the corner. Pentagon with a clothesline to Archer. Pentagon climbs the ladder. Page on the other side. Back and forth strikes. Page rakes the eyes. Cody comes back out and wipes Page with his belt. Strikes Page with one arm. Cody rolls to Page. Cody Rhodes climbs the ladder. Archer with right hands on top. Archer with a suplex off the ladder. Caster comes with the claim to fame elbow off the ladder. And then Caster climbs the ladder. Pentagon is on the other side, strikes back and forth. Archer pushes the ladder over and hits a clothesline on Page and rolls. And Pentagon. Archer with a blackout. Archer with a blackout on the ladder to Caster. Archer climbs the ladder. Page stops him. Huge strikes to Page. Page with a low blows. And a where's Edge? Jake Roberts with a clothesline to Page. Pentagon knocks him out of the ring. Pentagon climbs. Cody stops him. Cody butches a Cody cutter. Cody climbs. Pentagon hits him with a chair. Sky hits Pentagon with a chair. Sky climbs the ladder. Cody on the other side strikes back and forth. On the top of the ladder, Sky pushes Cody off. Sky gets the brass ring. And Sky wins the match. The teases of Cody overcoming the odds like John Cena, shaking off injury, and winning this match were great. But really, Sky won this match. Sky was the one that won it. But they added a level of drama that could not have been accomplished with any other wrestler on the roster. Now, why? Why that, folks? Well, it's because Cody has become the golden boy of AEW, the star everyone just reasonably assumes is going to win, even if his history does not necessarily reflect this state. So, even if his history does not necessarily reflect this sentiment, it is that mindset that allows his match to be even more heated than they may have otherwise been. Now, they are dramatic and emotional, and everyone that works with him benefits. Sky's win was infinitely hotter because he overcame Cody to achieve it. Now it will be interesting to see if the former SCU member can build on the momentum he has coming out of the match. Only because Allin Allin is one of the top stars in AEW right now and shows no signs of slowing down. We all know that for sure. Page enjoyed a solid, if understandable, debut. Penta impressed throughout. Caster took big bumps, and Archer still comes out of the match looking like an unstoppable badass. The match accomplished what it set out to be and provided fans a look at a few programs Page, Archer, Cody, Sky they may see play out in the weeks and months to come. So we got the street fight match. So we got Sting and Darby versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks, which I thought, in my opinion, was one of the best matches on this Revolution pay-per-view. That's why I have it as my thumbnail, because I think it was one of the best matches on this pay-per-view. Specifically because Sting Darby easily beat Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. That's not the only reason, though. But before that match, Justin Roberts introduces the mystery signing, Christian Cage. Yes, folks, Christian Cage. To those of you that did not watch AEW Revolution last night, Christian Cage officially signs the contract in the middle of the ring. And hits a shirt and Titron says, "Outwork everyone." He leaves without saying a word. Now, I know some of you are shocked that Christian signs with AEW. I guarantee you Christian didn't tell Edge that he was leaving WWE. You know, that's Edge's real life friend. That's Edge's real life best friend. They're both from Canada. That's his real best friend. I bet Christian didn't even tell WWE that he was leaving. How did we know that Christian left WWE to sign with AEW? How? I can't understand how Vince and Bruce let Christian leave. So watch, there's going to be some news on WWE taking Christian's merchandise off the WWE shop. Watch, guarantee it's going to be news on that. Bet you it's going to come. I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to be news on that. I know it's probably going to be today too. Guarantee it's going to be news on WWE taking Christian's merchandise off, just like they did with Sting. Remember that? Yeah. Video package for the street fight. Ricky Starks and Brian Cage drove off in a gold car. It's a cinematic match. Starks and Cage are in an undisclosed location. They enter an old-looking ring in a broken-down warehouse. Darby Allin music plays as a car drives through the darkness. An army of hoodlums walk down as Darby skateboards down the street. Darby grabs onto the back of a car driven by Sting. Sting and Darby walk past and lead the hoodlums to the ring. So we got the street fight. Sting and Darby versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. Easily the best match on the show, man, on the pay-per-view. The hoodlums bang on the ring apron and the fight starts. Darby jumps off the wall and into Starks. Cage attacks Sting. The ring is not lit very well. Cage attacks the hoodlums. Darby jumps on Cage, but Cage rams him into the ring. In post, Cage drags Darby. He drags Darby away from the ring. The hoodlums follow. In the ring, Sting dominates Starks and hits a stinger splash. Snake eyes from Sting. Cage is attacked. Cage attacks Darby on the other side of the warehouse. Snake eyes is the move that Ronda Rousey used. Remember when I streamed on WWE 2K20 last night? I had Ronda use that snake eyes move on Stephanie and on Nia Jax, and yeah. Darby with a truck block, but Cage throws him through some doors. Sting with another stinger splash. Sting hits the wall with the bat. Sting chases Starks as he runs away. Sting throws the bat at him. Stark says Sting isn't the icon. Sting throws the bat away. Sting throws him into the brick wall, stomps on the floor from Sting. Cage attacks Darby on the stairs. Cage walks up the stairs while carrying Darby in a suplex. Cage grinds Darby's head into the concrete floor. Sting distracts Cage and Darby hits him with a dropkick. Sting and Darby double team Cage. Starks attacks Sting, hitting him with a steel burial. Sting hits his head into some filing cabinets. Sting moves out the way and Cage hits Starks. Darby jumps on Cage's back while Cage fights both off. Sting hits Cage with a fire extinguisher. Darby hits Cage with a glass bottle. Starks hits Sting with a 2x4. He hits him with a 2x4. That's what it says. 2 minus 4. He hits him with a 2 minus 4. That's what it says on here. So Darby and Starks. He hits Starks with back and forth strikes. Starks with a knee to Darby. Starks driven into the steel beam. Darby climbs the beam and hits a coffin drop. Men in orange mask attack Darby. It's Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs. Cage attacks Sting, driving him into the wall. Hook and Hobbs attack Darby. Cage and Hobbs swing Darby through a glass panel. Hook attacks Sting. Cage hits Sting with a shovel. Darby drops the bat down to Sting. Sting attacks Team Taz with the bat. Sting breaks the bat over Cage. He breaks the bat over Cage's back. Sting hits Cage with the shovel. Darby with a huge elbow drop from the second floor through a huge table. Sting enters the ring with Starks. Sting misses a Stinger splash. Sting hits the exposed turnbuckle. Starks with a spear for a 2 count. Starks with punches. Sting no-sells them and fights back. Starks goes for a powerbomb. Sting rolls through for a 2 count. Sting with a Scorpion Death drop for the 3 count. And that was it. So, this was a really, really good match. It really was. Now, it is a trend in the industry that was deemed necessary by the ongoing global pandemic. Now, one that has split audience in this instance, AEW and those involved delivered a creative masterpiece. The camera work, the lighting, the spots, and the storytelling throughout at this point in his career. Now, the advent of cinematic wrestling has allowed veteran in-ring performers whose bodies otherwise would not be able to withstand the grind of a regular match the opportunity to deliver acclaimed match. Such was the case for the icon here, whose performance was infinitely better than expected and more importantly was true to his persona. Now, not enough can be said about Allin's creativity and willingness to take risk that others simply would not ever dream of, let alone execute. His coffin drop late in the match, falling through the air before crashing into his opponents was a jaw-dropping spectacle, while his bumps throughout really put over the ferocity of Team Taz. Now, kudos to Cage for the stair climbing vertical suplex spot. That was equal parts visually stunning and, in his case, a major flex. The right team went over here, and as long as they can continue to utilize him in a similar form or fashion, Sting will be a major asset for AEW for the foreseeable future. As for the revelation that Christian has signed with AEW, his value will also be directly tied to his ability to stay healthy. His return at January's Royal Rumble was an emotional moment, but was it enough to warrant an even semi-regular return to the Square Circle? Time will tell, folks. So we got a video package for a Double or Nothing. Commentary runs down the card for this week's Dynamite. Moxley versus Omega was next. That's the main event of AEW Revolution. It's the main event of that. So video packages hypes up the main event. Moxley enters first through the crowd. The champion, Kenny Omega, comes out next. Don Callis joins commentary. Now, folks, the exploding barbed wire death match, AEW World Heavyweight Championship match. I don't know what to say about this, but the ending was one of the worst, god awful endings of AEW Revolution. One of the worst endings of AEW Revolution history. So we got a lockup to start. Omega pushed Moxley into the barbed wire. Moxley fights out. Both men push each other faces into the barbed wire. But both men avoid it, chops back and forth. Kenny gets a headlock. Moxley with a backdrop, but Kenny holds onto the headlock. Kenny bits Moxley. Moxley thrown to the ropes, but he stops himself. Omega avoids the barbed wire in the corner. Both men go head to head. Strikes back and forth. Kenny gets a headlock. Moxley with a backdrop, but Kenny holds on to the headlock. Kenny bits Moxley. Moxley thrown to the ropes, but he stops himself. Omega avoids the barbed wire in the corner. Both men go head to head, strikes back forth, and Omega rakes eyes. He rakes the eyes, bit boot, and again, Moxley clotheslines Omega out the ring on the side without the barbed wire. Moxley throws weapons in the ring, hits Omega with a barbed wire bat. He hits him with a barbed wire bat, Russian leg sweep with the bat. Kendo stick to the bat. Back in the ring. Kenny throws powder in Moxley's eyes. Kenny throws Moxley into the barbed wire. And that whole side of the ring explodes. Omega gets a 2 count. Omega hits Moxley with the kendo stick and trash can. Knee on the trash can. Omega chokes Moxley with the kendo stick. Coda crusher for the 2 count. Omega attacks the knee and locks in a figure 4. Moxley is busted open. Moxley grind the barbed wire chair on Omega's knee. Moxley thrown into the barbed wire board in the corner of the ring. Moxley with a crime scene mask. With a crime scene mask now. Omega hits a moonsault for the 2 count. Omega with kendo sticks. Shots on Moxley. Omega sent into the ring, ropes, and that side of the ring explodes. Omega sent in again, and the ropes explode again. Moxley with a shoulder capture suplex. Omega sent into the corner, barbed wire, with an exploder suplex. Moxley Now, Moxley with a German suplex and a side slam on the barbed wire chair. Moxley pulls the barbed wire off the chair and wraps it around his arm. I almost didn't remember what I was going to say. Omega fights back with forearms. Moxley with a lariat. Omega with a Snapdragon suplex. Then another Snapdragon. Omega with a V trigger. Moxley with a clothesline. Omega drives Moxley and himself into the ropes, exploding that side of the ring. The ref gives Kenny some water to clean his eyes out. Punches back and forth on the apron. Kenny rakes the eye and the wound on his head. Moxley blocks a throw to the board outside. Moxley with a knee. Paradigm shift onto the boards on the floor. On the floor outside, the board explodes. Moxley climbs out of the barbed wire and tears some of it off the board. Moxley with a fist full of barbed wire striking Omega in the head over and over again. Music plays, warning of the time limit until the ring explodes. Moxley with the power driver, 2 count. Omega with a low blow, then a powerbomb. Kenny with a V trigger, then a second V trigger. One winged angel. Moxley gets to the ropes, causing an explosion. Moxley gets a bat, and the explosion blinded Omega. Good Brothers comes Dawn and attacks Moxley. Moxley fights back with the barbed wire bat. Kenny hits Moxley with a barbed wire bat that explodes. Moxley kicks out at 2. Omega hits a one-ring angle into the chair for a 3 count. And that was it. So the clock was still ticking. Callis enters the ring to celebrate with Kenny. The Good Brothers continue to attack Moxley. Omega throws the trash can at the ref. They handcuff Moxley's hand behind his back. Gallows with strikes to Moxley. Omega grinds the barbed wire bat into Moxley's head. Kenny hits Moxley in the chest with the bat. The alarm sounds 1 minute until the ring explodes. Omega and the Good Brothers leave. Moxley is helpless in the ring. Eddie Kingston attacks Kenny. Kingston tries to help Moxley. Kingston covers Moxley as the ring explodes. Not a hugely impressive explosion. The crowd boos. And Revolution ends with doctors attending to Moxley and Kingston. Yeah, that was one of the worst endings to AEW Revolution. I've never seen anything worse than that. Trust me, tonight's Monday Night Raw, it's going to get even more worse than tonight's Monday Night Raw. I'll tell you that right now. Tonight's Monday Night Raw is going to be worse. It's always worse every week on Monday Night Raw. We all know that. Now, my thoughts on this, honestly, much like the cinematic match that preceded it, the options of this match are related directly to one's enjoyment of that particular style. Death matches or not, have never been, and never will be this writer's forte. The best ones convey a level of violence befitting the rivalry, and the worst are merely exercises in unnecessary gore. This feud between Moxley and Omega certainly earned a deathmatch conclusion. But the problem is they already had that match in November 2019 at Full Gear. There was nowhere to go from there but bigger, louder, more ridiculous, and absurd. Now, that's what we got here. None of the violence matched what they accomplished in the first match. Here, it was all bells and whistles. It was quite literally smoke and mirrors. Were there gusty performances from guys putting their bodies at risk? Absolutely, they deserve a ton of respect for doing so. Did anyone watch that match and think for a second that it was absolutely necessary in order to tell Moxley and Michael's story? Probably not. But that the climax, the exploding ring, was a dud that made both the wrestlers and commentary only made matters worse. It did more harm than good. Moxley and Omega had the match. This needed to be already, and anything that failed to live up to the impossibly high bar set that night in Baltimore was going to be a disappointment. Now, there will be those that fairly defend the match and try to explain why it was a layered masterpiece deserving of 90 stars, 9100 if it took place in the Tokyo Dome. That's fine. It's their opinion and a reflection of their tastes or the tastes in wrestling. Now, it is a shame that this was not quite as impactful as it should have been because Kingston coming to the aid of Moxley, proving his love and friendship of the man that ended his championship dreams, is still there. Was a great bit of dramatic storytelling that Tony Khan and Tony Khan should have absolutely exploited Wednesday night on Dynamite. That above everything should be the takeaway from the Revolution main event. Still, to me, it was one of the worst. It still, to me, was one of the worst endings to AEW Revolution. I don't care what anybody says. This ending was beyond terrible. It was embarrassing at its finest. We do not. None of us in the IWC do not want to see nothing. Do not want to ever see nothing embarrassing like that again. No. Nobody in the IWC liked the ending. Everybody in the IWC also thought it was one of the worst endings of AEW Revolution. Yeah, it's up there. Definitely up there as one of the worst. Today's Monday Night Raw. Wait till Monday Night Raw tonight. It's going to get even more worse. Seems like the shows on there always suck every week. But folks, the ending was bad, but everything else on the show was great. This was a great stacked, action-packed pay-per-view. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed reading to you all, what went down. But thank you for joining me for my review. This is the end of the AEW Revolution pay-per-view review, results and review. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. I would appreciate it if everybody hit the thumbs up because I feel like I did good and okay. I didn't really do too bad. I just had a few mixed corrections. You know how I am. I'm gonna have that. Everybody has that. Everybody has miscorrections. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does reviews that has miscorrections. I'm sure I'm not the only one. So, well, please hit the like on the streams. You enjoyed this AW Revolution results review. I would appreciate it. I really would. I try to make my reviews the best reviews possible. It's not about competition, man. It's about giving everybody what they want to hear and what they want to see, and that's what I'm all about. I'm not about that competition stuff. You all know that. You all know that England Wrestling News is not about competition. No, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm about. I'm not about that competition stuff. That's just not me. All right. I know who I really am. That's certainly not me. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting out of here. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm ready to get off this PlayStation. Not ready to get off social media, but ready to get off this PlayStation. Because that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Now, I will be posting my full schedule. I'll be tweeting out my full schedule today. That'll be in the morning, either in the morning or this afternoon. I'll be tweeting out my full schedule for this whole week. Not just for this whole week, but this weekend as well. So, again, thank you for joining me for my review. I really appreciate it. To those of you that missed the AEW Revolution review, you missed a lot. This pay-per-view was one of the best pay-per-views that AEW's ever produced. Missed a whole bunch on here, I'm telling you. I understand those of you didn't get to watch it because you had to work. I know. Heck, I don't even get to watch AEW Dark on Tuesdays because I had to work on Tuesdays. Heck, you ain't the only one, see? But I am going to be doing the AEW Dark live stream watch-alongs every Wednesday afternoon. So I'm only doing that for people who didn't get to watch AEW Dark, who has to work on the same day I have to work, you know? But I'm getting the heck out of here. I'm tired. And as you can see, I got on the Dragon Ball Z shirt. Because you know I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. I'm a big fan of Naruto Shippuden too. So, well, this afternoon, folks, it's back to stringing some Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. There is a gun I'm working on, and that's called the Aurora. So we're going to continue that this afternoon. I got to get the thumbnail made for that live stream. But I mean, that's going to be before my Monday Night Raw review this Monday night. I know Monday Night Raw is going to suck, so I'm not even going to go any further. Anyways, peace out. I'm getting the heck out of here. Peace. I hope you all enjoyed the review. And I will see you right back here with my Monday Night Raw review. Can't deny, you can't deny how much I love this freaking intro, man. This the intro I use for my Raw and NXT and SmackDown reviews. I love this intro, man. But you know what's gonna be my new intro? Before I get out of here, before I really get out of here for real this time, I am gonna get out of here. But before I get out of here, I'm gonna show y'all my new intro. This is gonna be my new intro for my Monday Night Raw review. Oh, not that one. This is going to be my new intro for my Monday Night Raw review right here. Remember that intro from last week? I'm going to use it again. I love this. Let me review the chats real quick. I didn't get to do that. Before I get out of here this time, let me review the chats real quick. Let's see. We got Always Talk Wrestling. I appreciate you for joining, man. I see your comment. I would give the show to C. I don't know. I think I'd get the show a B. I think it was really good. It just the ending was terrible. Oh my God. The ending was absolutely terrible, man. Oh my God. That was the most embarrassing ending to AEW Revolution I've ever seen, man. It was. I saw the tweets about it while I was streaming WWE 2K20. I saw the tweets about it. Yeah, it's pretty much a 9 to 10. I think it's an 8-10 to me. 8/10 to me. I think I give it an 8 and 10. I give it a B, like a plus B, not an A, but I give it a plus B. I think it was good. From reading the results, I think it was good. Bobby, the street fight was a killer. Oh yeah, the street fight was killer, man. That was one of the best. That's why I had it as my thumbnail in the first place, man. The street fight was one of the best matches in the pay-per-view on the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. Sting and Darby versus Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. That was a great match, man. And I'm guessing And I'm guessing that feud's going to continue. I don't know. Yeah, Christian signing with AEW. I'm not sure if Christian is actually going to help AEW or elevate AEW, but we'll see. We'll see. We don't know that yet. I know Christian signed with AEW. I know the mystery man was all ego Page, which I knew, who I knew it was going to be all along because he is a former Impact. He was a former Impact talent. I did reply to JD's tweet that other day and said that it's either going to be. I think it's either going to be a former. I did reply to somebody else's comment too. Somebody replied to my comment, and right after that, I said it's either going to be a former Impact talent, WWE talent, NWA talent, or a New Japan Pro Wrestling talent. And turned out it was an Impact talent. It was a talent from Impact. It was a former Impact superstar, all ego Page. I knew somebody from one of those promotions were going to be signed. Somebody from one of those promotions that AEW was going to sign. I knew they were going to sign somebody from one of the 4 promotions, man. I knew that. Yeah, I just got through with my review, man. If you would like to have a look at it, I will. If you'd like to have a look at it, you can. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to end the review right now. I was about to get out of here until you commented. Until you replied to the chat. I was getting ready to get out of here. I am getting ready to get out of here though, man. I'm tired. I really need to ready to get off this freaking game. Ready to end this review. Folks, again, thank you for joining me for my review. I'm getting out of here. You can tell my eyes look tired. And please hit the like button on this stream. It really helps the channel, really helps the live stream, the videos. I really hope you enjoyed my review for real. I feel like I did good on it. I really do. I'm not going to fucking bring myself down like that. You know? But I'm getting out of here. Thanks for joining me for my review. And y'all have yourselves a great Monday. See you on the Monday Night Raw review.